Hello everyone and welcome to Interface Insights by Design Studio UI UX. I am Naushina, a UI UX designer, and today we are talking about something that every designer, every product team, and every business deals with. It's the CTA button. The small, clickable thing that sits on your screen and quietly decides whether your product succeeds or not. A well optimized CTA can convert up to 202% more than a generic one. So, yes, it matters a lot more than most people think. So, let's get into it. The question is, what separates a good CTA from a bad one? It comes down to six things: clarity, visual contrast, mobile optimization, placement, authentic urgency, and A B testing. Most teams get maybe two of these right, and they wonder why users are dropping off right before the action. The truth is, a CTA is not just a button. It is the bridge between a user who is curious and a user who actually does something. And every design decision on that button, be it the color, the copy, the shape, the placement, either removes friction or adds it. So, what your button look like really matters a lot. There is no single best color for a CTA, but there are rules. WCAG 2.1 requires a minimum contrast ratio of 4.5 to 1. Anything below that, and a larger portion of your users simply cannot read it clearly. Blue and green build trust. Orange signals urgency. But more important than the color itself, it has to stand out from everything around it. Give your button room to breathe. A button surrounded by clutter is a button users scroll past. Generous padding, space around it. This is what makes it the focal point of the screen. Rounded corners feels approachable. On mobile, pill-shaped buttons with a broader radius of 50 pixels or more works best because they are easier to tap with a thumb. Sharp rectangular buttons can work in B2B or high authority context, but for most products, just go soft. Apple's guidelines say 44 by 44 pixels minimum tap target on mobile. Google says 48 by 48. If your button is smaller than that, your mobile users are missing it and they're not trying twice. The words on the button is where the most teams lose the game completely. Submit, click here, learn more. These are the thing that tells nothing to the user. They create zero motivation to act. The copy on your CTA needs to answer three things in a few words as possible. What is being offered? Who is it for? And what happens next? Let's compare the two of them. Start your free trial versus start my free trial. In a landmark A/B testing, just changing your to mine leads to a 90% increase in click-through rate. Remember, it's just a one word change that leads to 90% increase in CTR. Because mine creates ownership. It shifts the frame from the brand talking at the user to the user talking to themselves. Another powerful technique is to lead with the benefit. Instead of download, say unlock 50 templates. Instead of sign up, say join 10,000 designers. You are telling people what they get before you ask them to do something. And if there is a form or a payment involved, and a line of microcopy right below the button. Something like no credit card required or cancel anytime. That one line removes three silent objections at once. Even the best designed CTA fails if it's in the wrong place. The rule of above the fold or nothing, that is dead. Modern users scroll, skim, and zigzag. So the smart approach is the three placement zones. Above the fold is for the users who are already convinced and just need a prompt. Mid content is right after you have decided a pain point. This is where the user is feeling the problem most. And contextual CTA placed at the exact moment feel like a solution, not an interruption. End of page is for the methodical users who reads everything before deciding. These three together convert more than any single CTA layout because they meet different users where they actually are. There is a psychological layer to all of this that is worth understanding. Urgency works, but only when it is real. Only three seats left, or sale ends in 2 hours, triggers loss aversion, which is a documented human behavior. People are more motivated by the fear of losing something than the possibility of gaining something. But fake urgency destroys trust. If that countdown resets every time someone refreshes the page, users notice and they do not come back. Social proof works on a similar principle. Join 10,000 marketers works because most people will go with the popular option when they are unsure. It reduces anxiety at the exact moment of commitment. So, let me quickly run through the most common mistakes that I see as a UI UX designer. The first one is low contrast, where the button blends into the background and fades accessibility standards. Then there is overload copy like start free trial and get free ebook, where you are asking users to do two things at once, and that creates confusion. Another common one is no mobile optimization, where buttons are too small to tap or placed in screen corners where thumb simply cannot reach. Animation are another problem because if your button takes more than 3 seconds to appear, 53% of users are already gone. And finally, no micro interactions, meaning if there is no hover state or visual feedback on click, the button feels broken and users will not click something that does not respond. These are not small details. Any of these can quietly kill your conversion rate without you even knowing why. So, a CTA button is never just a button. It is a sum of your color choices, your copy, your understanding of where the user is emotionally, and how much friction you have removed from that one moment of action. Start with one thing. Pick your worst performing CTA, run it through a contrast checker, rewrite the first copy in first person, and test it. That alone can move the needle. If you want the full breakdown and the best practices, copywriting techniques, real world examples, and the A/B testing framework, you can find it all in our blog. The link is in the description. I am Naushina, signing off. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care and keep designing with intention.